Welcome, Chennai. This is Elsa Paul of 2nd MA Communication. I will be the host for the whole session. So, hi, a very pleasant good morning to one and all. This is 2nd MA Communication of Madras Christian College hosting 2ACT005 Choose Conversation. A wholehearted and earnest welcome to all who have gathered here. With no minute to spare, let's begin. Prayer should be always our first response to every situation. So I call upon Mr. Jared Jason for the prayer song. Over to you, Jared.
Me now under your wings, cover me within your mighty hands. When the oceans rise and thunders roll, I will soar with you above the storm. Father, you are king over the flood. I will be still and know you are God. I will be still and know you are God.
Thank you, Jared. Cleansing of mind comes with prayer alone, and it's the best start we could give to any program. Thus, apart from the prayer song, let's have a prayer too with Bible verse. I call upon Miss Sona Manoj in order to lead all of us to the grace of God. Welcome, Sona.
Thank you, Elsa. Let's start our campaign with the Word of God followed by a prayer. So, the Bible verse is from Romans chapter 15, verse 13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in Him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Prayer. Our Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day that you've given us, Lord. Help us to keep our gaze upon you, handing you our problems and worries, trusting in our relationship with you, Lord, and relying upon your loving promises. Give us the courage to move forward with determination and help us to face the challenges in the coming days and help us to excel in everything we do, Lord. Bless each and everyone present here and help all our plans succeed, Lord Jesus. In Jesus' matchless name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Sona. So now I invite our most cheerful classmate, Miss Sinthumati Mailwaganan, for the welcome address. Welcome, Sinthu.
Good morning to one and all. We are deeply honored to welcome you all today. Your presence has immensely enhanced our enthusiasm and excitement for our campaign 2ACT005. I welcome Dr. P.V. Ramanathan, Chairperson, Dr. Beena S. Nair, Vice Chairperson, and Professor Aswati Das, Assistant Professor of the Department of English, Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham College. A warm welcome to the students of Department of English, Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham College. With great honor and pleasure, I'd like to welcome our keynote speaker, Dr. A. Silvia Daisy, social worker and professor of Department of Social Work, Madras Christian College. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invitation. I'd like to welcome Dr. Vasuprada Sri Krishna, HOD in charge, our staff in charge of Public Relation Campaign, Professor Deborah Raj, and our faculties, Dr. S. Janet Mary and Professor Dinesh Kumar T, Department of Communication, Madras Christian College. I now welcome my batchmates, students of First MA Communication, and the lovely audience present here at the meet, and those watching us live on YouTube. Thank you all for joining us and hope you have an enlightening and wonderful session ahead.
Thank you so much, Sindhu. Yes, so Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham students, are you there? ഒന്നും കേൾക്കുന്നില്ലല്ലോ, സൗണ്ട് ഒന്നും കേൾക്കുന്നില്ലല്ലോ. Are you there? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, you guys are there, right? Yeah, okay. So, this is MCC and we are the Department of Communication. So, എനിക്കറിയാം നിങ്ങൾ അറ്റൻഡൻസ് നോക്കെ കിട്ടുമോ ഇല്ലയോ എന്നുള്ളതും പേടിച്ചിട്ടാണ് ചിലപ്പോ ഈ മീറ്റിങ്ങിന് കയറിയെന്ന്. But it's not like that. It's not a kind of a online meeting that you are expecting. It won't be boring. I like, you can trust me. I honestly tell you that this is not going to be a boring meeting. You are never going to get bored and not going to sit idle, because this is a roller coaster you are in, where you may experience everything in a row: fun, information, learning, entertainment, music, and what else? Of everything. So I need, in a count of 1, 2, 3, I need you guys to say you are ready. Okay? Oh my God, guys, I was boasting to my classmates that Mallus are way too strong than they could ever imagine. So never let me down. Malayalalde manam kalayale, okay? Yes.
Okay.
So in a count of 1, 2, 3, guys.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready. We are ready.
Yes. That's it. So this energy should be maintained all through the show. And as a kickstart to the whole section for you guys, there is an interesting game session. I call upon Ms. Gayatri Nandakumar for conducting the game session. Stay tuned to it, guys. Over to you, Gayatri.
Okay, thank you, Elsa. Am I audible?
Yes, dear, you are.
Okay. So, good morning to all.
Guys, good morning.
Yep.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, so let's start. So, hello all, myself Gayatri. So today I will be leading a very interesting infotainment game show for all of you. So, നിങ്ങൾ വിചാരിക്കുന്നുണ്ടാവും എന്ത് ഇൻഫർടൈൻമെന്റ് ഗെയിം ഷോ ആണ് ഞാൻ നടത്താൻ പോകുന്നതെന്ന്. But trust me, it's going to be a very, very interesting quiz or maybe a film quiz. അപ്പോൾ എൽസ ഫിലിംസ് കാണാറുണ്ടോ?
Yes, of course. We communication students.
Yes, of course. We are all not just communication students, പക്ഷെ നമ്മുടെ കൂടെ ഇവിടെ ഉള്ള audience. Like, I guess we all love movies, right? So I have prepared something exciting for you, and onto the screen, and you can see how to play the game. You'll have 10 seconds to say the answer, and if anybody knows the right answer, you can raise your hand using that raise hand option, and then unmute and then say your name. After that, you can tell the right answer. Okay, and answers in the chat box are also welcome. So quickly, let's move on to the first question of this game. And the game is none other than popcorn stories.
ആരാണ് ഈ കുഞ്ഞാലി? എന്റെ മനസ്സിൽ 3ാം ക്ലാസ്സിൽ വളർന്ന ഒരു ഹീറോ. ആ ഹീറോയെ ഞാൻ വളർത്തിക്കൊണ്ടുവരുന്ന എന്റെ കുഞ്ഞാലി.
I'm sure ഈ സിനിമ നമ്മൾ എല്ലാവരും വെയിറ്റ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു സിനിമയാണ് December 2 വേണ്ടി. അപ്പോൾ എന്റെ my question is, മരക്കാർ അറബിക്കടലിന്റെ സിംഹം ഈ ചിത്രത്തിന്റെ ബഡ്ജറ്റ് എത്രയാണ്? ഓപ്ഷൻ എ 50 crore, ഓപ്ഷൻ ബി 150 crore, ഓപ്ഷൻ സി 100 crore. സോ ആൻസർ അറിയാവുന്നവർ പെട്ടെന്ന് റേസ് ഹാൻഡ് ഓപ്ഷൻ ഒക്കെ അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിൽ ആൻസർ പറയാം.
100 crore.
Okay, I got 2 answers. So can you please tell me?
100 crore.
Okay, നിങ്ങളുടെ പേരൊന്ന് പറയാവോ?
100 crore.
One Mr. Anand said it's 50 crore. Yeah.
Okay.
Then in the chat box, yeah.
Ah.
In the chat box, there is someone who said 150 crores. That is, Shivaram. Others all have stick on to 100 crores.
Okay, so ഞാൻ ഒരാളായിട്ട് എടുത്ത് പറയുന്നില്ല, but let's see if everybody's answer is correct, because I get so many answers, so I don't want to disappoint you. Let's see what is the correct answer. It's 100 crore. So I'm sure like everybody is really excited to see Marakkar on screen, and it's the most expensive Malayalam cinema ever made. Okay, so it's 100 crores. So whoever said the right answer, there is a special gift for you.
ഓക്കെ, നമ്മൾ സാധാരണ ഗിഫ്റ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും എന്തെങ്കിലും മെറ്റീരിയലിസ്റ്റിക് ആയിട്ടായിരിക്കും കൊടുക്കുന്നത്. ബട്ട് 2ACT005 is really different. We give you knowledge, we give you information, and knowledge is power. So let's see what's your reward. Okay, you won a stat reward. Stat reward എന്ന് പറയുന്ന മറ്റൊന്നുമല്ല, നമ്മൾ എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഈ ക്യാമ്പയിൻ കണ്ടക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്? Why are we conducting this campaign? The reason behind that is because of so many shocking facts and statistics that we came to know about domestic violence during this pandemic. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ആ സ്റ്റാറ്റിസ്റ്റിക്സും ഫാക്ട്സും ഒക്കെ ആയിരിക്കും ഞങ്ങൾ ഒരു പീസ് ഓഫ് ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ ആയിട്ട് തരുന്നത്. So let's see what is this. Calls to helplines have increased 5-fold due to increased rates of reported domestic violence cases during the pandemic. So 5 മടങ്ങ് helpline callsലേക്കുള്ള calls increase ആയിട്ടുണ്ട് during this pandemic. Okay, so it's from UN Women, so it's a very shocking statistics, and especially during this pandemic. So because of you guys, we came to know about this new statistic rate, and thanks to all of you for answering. So let's move on to the next question. So ഇതെല്ലാവർക്കും വളരെ സുപരിചിതമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു മൂവിയാണ്. എവറിബഡി നോസ് ദിസ് മൂവി. സോ മൈ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഇസ്, കുമ്പളങ്ങി നൈറ്റ്സിൽ അന്നാബെൻ അവതരിപ്പിച്ച കഥാപാത്രത്തിന്റെ പേരെന്താണ്? The time starts now. Option A Bobby Mole, option B Baby Mole, option C Silly Mole. I guess
Baby Mole. Baby Mole. Baby Mole. Baby Mole.
Okay. Baby Mole. So anybody who can say their name and say the answer quickly.
Abrami, Baby Mole. Baby Mole.
Anjana,
Vega, Baby Mole.
Okay, so I get so many names right here. So ഞാൻ ആനന്ദും അഭിരാമിയും ചൂസ് ചെയ്യുവാണ്. They said Baby Mole. Let's see if it's a right answer or not. Yes. എന്നോട് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒന്ന് സംസാരിക്കില്ല ബേബി മോളെ. നമുക്ക് ആ ഡയലോഗ് നല്ല ഓർമ്മ ഉണ്ടല്ലേ. So നിങ്ങൾക്ക് രണ്ടുപേർക്കും ഒരു ഫാക്ട് റിവാർഡ് കിട്ടിയിരിക്കുകയാണ്. So let's see what is that fact reward. Domestic violence is most likely to take place between 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So that's a time period during which most of the domestic violence occurs. Okay, it's a fact. It's a really proven fact. So keep in mind, it's a very serious issue. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Okay, that's a very favorite movie for all of us. Maya Nadil Aishwarya Lakshmi അവതരിപ്പിച്ച കഥാപാത്രത്തിന്റെ പേര്? Option A Aparna, option B Anupama, option C Anita. Your time starts now.
Aparna.
I heard Aparna from one person very fast.
Megha. Aparna.
Megha. Okay, Megha, let's see if Aparna was the right answer. Yes. Appuneyo appsineyo നമുക്ക് അങ്ങനെ പെട്ടെന്ന് മറക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല അല്ലേ? So it's Aparna. So you won a stat reward. Let's see what it is. Less than 40% of women who experience violence seek help of any sort. Okay, just imagine 40% താഴെ അത്രയും പേര് മാത്രമേ എന്തെങ്കിലും തരത്തിലുള്ള ഒരു ഹെൽപ്പ് സീക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നുള്ളൂ ഫ്രം ദിസ് ഡൊമസ്റ്റിക് വയലൻസ്. സോ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് റിയലി ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ് ദാറ്റ് വി ഇൻക്രീസ് ദിസ് സ്റ്റാറ്റിസ്റ്റിക്സ്. ഓക്കെ, സോ ആർ നെക്സ്റ്റ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ. ഈ പാട്ട് ഏത് ചിത്രത്തിലേതാണെന്ന് പറയണം. ഐ ഗിവ് യു ദ ഓപ്ഷൻസ് ആൻഡ് ആഫ്റ്റർ ദാറ്റ് യു വിൽ സീ ദ സോങ്. അനുരാഗ കരിക്കിൻ വെള്ളം, ജൂൺ ആൻഡ് എല്ലാം ശരിയാകും. You can watch the video now.
June.
Okay, so please tell me who said the answer first.
June.
Okay, please tell your name.
Meenakshi.
Okay, Meenakshi. Kore per answer parnu, but still Meenakshi chose to say her name. So I'm just speaking Meenakshi, but let's see if it's a correct answer. Very good. So congrats to all of you. You all have won a fact reward. Let's see what it is. A child who grows up witnessing domestic violence at home thinks it's normal to execute violence against women. Okay, നമ്മുടെ വീടുകളിലെല്ലാം കുട്ടികൾ ഉണ്ടാവും അല്ലേ? So when they witness such kind of domestic violence, they think it's really normal. Okay, my father and mother is fighting, or couples are fighting, sister and brother is fighting, like, so it's okay, it's very normal. So don't let our children think like that. It's our responsibility to make them aware of this, or just avoid these kind of things. Okay, just understand the seriousness of the issue. So this is again another movie, and my question is, ഏത് വിഷയമാണ് ഈ സിനിമ ചർച്ച ചെയ്തത്? And your options are A breakup, B marital rape, and C divorce.
B marital rape. Abhirami.
That was a very quick answer. What was your name?
Abhirami.
So let's see, Abhirami, if it's a right answer, and you are correct. സോ കെട്ടിയോളാണ് എന്റെ മാലാക എന്ന് പറയുന്ന മൂവി മാരിറ്റൽ റേപ്പ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഇതുവരെ മലയാള സിനിമയിൽ ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യാത്ത ഒരു വിഷയത്തിനെ വളരെ ഗൗരവമായി കൈകാര്യം ചെയ്തൊരു സിനിമയായിരുന്നു. സോ യു വാണ്ട് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് റിവാർഡ്. ലെറ്റ്സ് സീ വാട്ട് ഇറ്റ് ഇസ്. 77% of domestic violence victims has never mentioned the incident to anyone. Okay, so 77% ആൾക്കാർ ഇത് തുറന്ന് പറയുന്നില്ല. സോ അവരെ കൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് ഈ ഒരു ക്യാമ്പയിനിലൂടെ നമുക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമെങ്കിൽ we must make them say this to, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ we must make them aware of seriousness of this issue and we must take them out or bring them out from this situation. Okay, and this is the final question for the session. Let's see. ഈ ചിത്രത്തിൽ മാലിനി എന്ന കഥാപാത്രം ചെയ്ത നടിയുടെ പേരെന്താണ്? മമത മോഹൻദാസ്, Okay, somebody please tell your name and answer.
Anu Sitara.
Okay, Anjana, let's see if Anu Sitara is correct. Very, very bold character in that film. All of us know that. So you want a fact reward. Let's see. Domestic violence is a leading cause of injury to women. More than car accidents, muggings and rapes combined. അപ്പം ഡൊമസ്റ്റിക് വയലൻസിലാണ് ഇത് ലീഡിങ് കോസ് ആയിട്ടാണ് ഫാക്ട്സ് പറയുന്നത്. വിമനിലെ ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ ഇഞ്ചുറി ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് ഡൊമസ്റ്റിക് വയലൻസ് rather than the other things, compared to the other things. Okay, so I hope all of you enjoyed my small game session and I hope all the facts and statistics have given you some kind of knowledge. So it's time to exit the game and thank you very much. So over to you, Elsa.
Thank you so much, Gayatri. It was really a wonderful session and thank you our audience. Thank you so much, guys. You were really a very good part in the game.
Yes, really. I got so many answers. I was really overwhelmed. The best crowd I've ever seen.
Yeah, yes. We should really thank you for your support and your participation. So yes, I need one more thing from you guys. When I'm saying the words, you should repeat these words. Okay with me? Are you ready, guys?
Okay. Yes.
Yes. Two. And 005.
005.
Yes, 2ACT005. This is our PR campaign, okay? And why this title? Do you have any idea why this title? No? Okay, yes. So I'll explain you why this title. It's because of the act that came upon 2005. An act was passed in 2005 named Protection of Women from Domestic Violence. Okay, so in reference to that act, we named our campaign 2ACT005. And yes, next, I need you to repeat again 2 more words with me. Choose. Conversation. Yes, choose conversation is our tagline because yes, choosing conversation. Yes, thank you, dear. Yeah, so choose conversation is our tagline and it's very important, as you know. It is to make aware people that raising voice is very, very important. When you are being a victim or when somebody is victim, you should raise voice for them and also for you. Okay. So that's a very important chapter you have to learn from our PR campaign. And why this subject at this hour of life? It's because lockdown. During lockdown, the cases of domestic violence increased tremendously. Even game in the edayilum nammal kandu our lockdown kalathe garhiga peedanathinte our alavu it was very, very more than expected. And the calls to helpline numbers were also so great. Adondana pandemic ine shesham thottaduthu thane we were very much convinced that this is the best PR campaign topic that we can have. So guys, നമ്മൾ ഒരു ഓൺലൈൻ പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിൽ ഇരിക്കുന്നതിന്റെ പരിമിതികൾ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലും never ever consider this as a class. Okay, this is not a classroom. I know classrooms, online classes are very boring, but this is not like that. And because of being in the online classroom and online platform, I need you to follow some instructions. Okay, 1, all through the campaign, keep your microphones off. Never unmute unless you are asked to. Second, in between the campaign, there would be Google polls provided for you to vote. Kindly vote whenever it pops up. How to vote in the you can vote by clicking on the rightmost corner button of the screen. Rightmost there's a shape, another triangle under, rectangle under, or a circle under. That is called the activities tab, and avada namukku polls under. Avada you can actually vote for the polls that pops up. And even tettaittulla answer anengilum, just try and answer that, because it's very important that from mistakes we have to learn very, very good things ahead. And last but not least, in the end of the session, there will be a question, answer, or feedback session. Try to ask questions and give feedback either by unmuting or putting it in the chat box. So guys, ready? As I had bombarded you with a lot many information, I don't want to make you, I don't want to take more into it. So let's have some entertainment. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
You want music or dance?
Ma'am.
Music.
Yes. Who is that?
Anand, ma'am, I would like to ask one question before.
Sure.
There are Act 2005 is a law for protecting women, isn't it? Against domestic violence. Is there any law protecting man from domestic violence?
That's a wonderful question to ask. But yeah, during this time, as we know, not only women, even men are also being, even child, men, everyone are becoming victims of violence. I guess our staff in charge, Debbie ma'am, is wanting to answer the question. Over to you, Debbie ma'am.
Anand, your question is much valid. There are protection rights for, not only for women, but for people in general, for the entire humankind. There are laws protecting each and every individual. But since women face a higher category of domestic violence, there were special laws inducted only to safeguard the rights of women, because they are much more, brought into domestic violence. Because it is generally on a higher note where we see that men have more power. Men have more strength. So because of that, women fall a prey more than men. I'm not saying men do not undergo domestic violence. Men do also go under domestic violence, but then the rate at which women undergo domestic violence is much more, and hence the government had to introduce this law in 2005, which was very, very recent. So it's been only 16 years since the law has come into use. So I think you would have got my answer, Anand.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Also, Anand, this law actually came on 2005. At 2005, I know this name was given, Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act. And afterwards, amendments നടന്നിട്ടപ്പോ, like afterwards only this men were also victims of domestic violence എന്നുള്ള ആ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷനിലോട്ട് എത്തിക്കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോ it was amended, and it was right now the act is for every people, like irrespective of gender. Okay. Yes.
Okay. I just asked this because we speak more about women issues. I see everywhere women protection, women issues.
Anand, that is why we did not, Anand, staff in charge here again. That is why it is a women's issue, but we are not addressing only the women. That is why we wanted a mixed crowd today. That is why we brought in both the men and women, so that men can protect women, women can protect men, and we can live in harmony. That's one of the most important mission that we have towards the campaign.
Ma'am, I just asked if there's any counterpart, like both extremes. So as we are not hearing about, as I don't hear about many men laws protecting men, so just I asked this question. That's all.
Okay, Anand. Thank you. That see, the question that you asked might have educated a lot more of your peers around you. So I'm happy that you came up with a question, Anand.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Anand. And also one more thing, one more word to be added with Debbie ma'am's words. Men should protect women, women should protect men, and we together should protect our children too. Okay? Child is also a very important component of our family. So yes, I was asking you guys.
தேவதையே நீ ஏன் தேங்குகிறாய் காரிகள் தேவையில்லை வாணி வெளியிலே. காரிகையே நீ ஏன் வாடுகிறாய்? காயங்கள் தேவையில்லை வாணி வெளியிலே. உடை தெரியும் வேலியை விதைத்திடும் பாதையை காலையிடு நீ இங்கு மேலோங்கும் அதிகாரத்தை. உடை தெரியும் வேலியை விதைத்திடும் பாதையை காலையிடு நீ இங்கு மேலோங்கும் அதிகாரத்தை. உடையாதே பெண்ணிலமே இடமே பேச நினைத்தால் மட்டுமே வானம் திறக்குடையாதே. உடையாதே பெண்ணிலமே இடமே பேச நினைத்தால் மட்டுமே வாழ்க்கை மாறுதே. உடையாதே பெண்ணினமே பிழையேது உன்னிடமே பேச நினைத்தால் மட்டுமே வாழ்க்கை மாறுதே.
Thank you so much, production team. And I hope you all enjoyed our official music video. So, നമ്മളിപ്പോ പറഞ്ഞു വിമൻ ഇഷ്യൂസ് ഉണ്ട്, മെൻ ഇഷ്യൂസ് ഉണ്ട്, ചൈൽഡ് ഇഷ്യൂസ് ഉണ്ട്. ഹൗ ക്യാൻ വി ടാക്കിൾ ദിസ്? ഹൗ ക്യാൻ വി ഗീവ് ദം എ ഹെൽപ്പ് ലൈൻ? ഓർ ലൈക്ക് ഹൗ ആർ വി സപ്പോസ് ടു ഹെൽപ്പ്? അതിന് നമുക്ക് ഹെൽപ്പ് ലൈൻ നമ്പേഴ്സ് ഉണ്ട്. വി നോ മെനി, വി ഹാവ് ഹാൻഡ് സിഗ്നൽസ് ആൻഡ് മെനി മോർ. സോ എങ്ങനെ ഇവരെ ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്യാം എന്നതിലേക്ക് നമ്മളെ നയിക്കുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടി ഐ കോൾ അപ്പോൺ മിസ് ശ്രേയ ശ്രീകുമാർ. വെൽക്കം ശ്രേയ.
താങ്ക് യു എൽസ. നമസ്കാരം. ഞാൻ ഇന്ന് സംസാരിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത് ഗാർഹിക പീഡനത്തിൽ നിന്ന് ഏതൊക്കെ വഴിയിലൂടെയും എങ്ങനെയൊക്കെയും സംരക്ഷണം പ്രാപിക്കാം എന്നതിനെ കുറിച്ചാണ്. പക്ഷേ അതിനു മുൻപായി നമുക്ക് എന്താണ് ഈ ഗാർഹിക പീഡനത്തിനെതിരെ നടപ്പിലാക്കിയ പദ്ധതിയെ കുറിച്ച് പഠിക്കാം. നെക്സ്റ്റ് സ്ലൈഡ് പ്ലീസ്. സോ സ്ത്രീ സുരക്ഷ ഉറപ്പുവരുത്തുന്ന ഗാർഹിക പീഡന നിയമം ആദ്യമായി ആവിഷ്കരിക്കുന്നത് 2005 പക്ഷെ അതൊരു നിയമമാകുന്നത് 2006 ഈ ഒരു നിയമം സ്ത്രീകളെയും കുട്ടികളെയും ലൈംഗികവും വാക്കാലുള്ളതും ശാരീരികവും സാമ്പത്തികവുമായ ദുരുപയോഗത്തിൽ നിന്ന് സംരക്ഷിക്കുന്നു. നെക്സ്റ്റ് സ്ലൈഡ്. ഈ ഒരു സ്ലൈഡ് വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ് ആണ്. ഈ ഒരു സ്ലൈഡിലാണ് നമുക്ക് ഡൊമസ്റ്റിക് വയലൻസ് ഹെൽപ്പ് ലൈൻ നമ്പേഴ്സിനെ കുറിച്ച് അറിയാൻ പറ്റുന്നത്. സോ നമ്മൾ ഇവിടെ മനസ്സിലാക്കേണ്ട കാര്യം എന്താന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ 1091 നാഷണൽ ഹെൽപ്പ് ലൈൻ നമ്പർ, അതായത് ദേശീയ ഹെൽപ്പ് ലൈൻ നമ്പർ ഫോർ വിമൻ ഇൻ ഡിസ്ട്രെസ്. 1098 ദുരിതം അനുഭവിക്കുന്ന കുട്ടികൾക്കുള്ള ഹെൽപ്പ് ലൈൻ നമ്പർ. 181 തമിഴ്നാടുവിലെ ഹെൽപ്പ് ലൈൻ നമ്പർ. നെക്സ്റ്റ് സ്ലൈഡ്. ഏറ്റവും അവസാനമായി നമ്മൾ സംസാരിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത് കുറച്ച് കൈ സിഗ്നലുകളെ കുറിച്ചാണ്. നിങ്ങൾ ഗാർഹിക പീഡനത്തിന്റെ ഒരു ഇരയാണെന്ന് മറ്റുള്ളവരെ എങ്ങനെ നിശബ്ദതയിലൂടെ സൂചിപ്പിക്കാം എന്നതിനെ കുറിച്ചാണ്. ആദ്യമായി എന്താ ചെയ്യേണ്ടത് എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ക്യാമറ നോക്കി കൈ നീട്ടിപ്പിടിക്കുക. കൈ നീട്ടിയ ശേഷം തള്ളവിരൽ മടക്കുക. തള്ളവിരൽ മടക്കിയ ശേഷം മറ്റുള്ള 4 വിരലുകൾ കൊണ്ട് ഈ തള്ളവിരലിനെ ചുരുട്ടിപ്പിടിക്കുക. ഇതാണ് ഗാർഹിക പീഡനത്തിന്റെ ഇരയാണെന്ന് കാണിക്കാൻ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന ഹാൻഡ് സിഗ്നൽ. അപ്പൊ ഇതൊക്കെയാണ് കുറച്ച് സ്ട്രാറ്റജീസ് സ്ത്രീകളെയും കുട്ടികളെയും ഗാർഹിക പീഡനത്തിൽ നിന്ന് സംരക്ഷിക്കാൻ. അപ്പൊ ഈ ഒരു പ്രസന്റേഷൻ എല്ലാവർക്കും ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ട് എന്ന് വിശ്വസിക്കുന്നു. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
Thank you so much, Shreya, for enlightening us with the helpline. Okay, so meanwhile, the poll has launched. I was talking to you about some Google polls. As you can see, this Google polls may be popping up on your screen. So take a chance and vote. Even if it's wrong, it doesn't matter. Voting is important. As people say, participation is important. Yeah. So let's see what young people have to say upon the issue. We just conducted a vox pop within our campus to know what the people of our age have a view upon this domestic violence issue and toxic relationships. Let's have a look at the vox pop video. Over to you, production team.
My first question is, do you think women are safe in their own households?
Yeah, I do think so, but it's depend on every individual, right? Even the last year I read from an article that a child, actually she is 16 years old only, but their parents are forcing for her child marriage.
I don't think because partially they are not safe. There are people who misbehave with like childs or whomever in the house, girl child, they may misbehave with the kids.
Most of the times they are, but in some exceptional cases they are not so safe. I have to accept the fact that many people in the household are even not, protecting their own girls in their house.
On a surface level, yes. If we look at if we look at it in the first sense, it will be yes, but mentally and they are not included in most of the decisions, and that in that sense it's no. And in few cases there are a lot of incidents where physical abuse also takes place, but so I don't think they are really safe in their households even.
Do you think that the safety of women is just a woman's issue?
It's not a woman's issue only, it's a society's issue. A boy also should be always with them to protect them. So
I think women's safety in itself is not gender based. It's actually needs to be taken as a collective issue more than being centered to women, or if male has to look into it. It's not like that. I think it's like a society's general issue.
No, of course not. It's a society's issue actually. A society is coexisting of both men and women, and of course other genders also. So it's important that everyone are safe enough to make a peaceful and a good society, a peaceful coexisting place.
Is it okay to hit or cuss at a woman when you're angry, even if they're in your own family?
No, it's because actually, first of all, men should not beat women and women should not beat a man. If it is in critical position, we can, but still, it's a wrong thing to do.
No, it's absolutely not acceptable. You are not supposed to, not just a woman, as a human, you are not supposed to hit somebody if you are angry. It's your issue, you are not supposed to hit. It doesn't matter if it's a woman, you are not supposed to treat them as an inferior person.
Maybe in olden days they would have done like that. Suppose in modern days you also know that if you cuss or hit a woman, she will repeat.
no, I don't think so. Unless and until she starts first, I don't think that a boy or a boy should hit her.
When you see a woman in danger, will you help her?
If someone is attacking her, then I'll be aggressive to that person. If she's alone, then I'll first I'll ask her that what's her problem, and if she's okay with it, then I'll help her.
If I could, I will definitely do it. Yeah.
Yes, that is for sure. But if there is something, there are situations where we might not be able to help in direct. So if I see some opportunity to help that person, definitely I'll go for it.
Of course, it's our duty to help them out. So of course we should do, and I will do.
First, we need to know the cause, right? Yeah. So first, we need to know the cause. We can't just, because it might be a family problem, and then the other person might feel that we're interrupting into their lives.
Of course, I will help her.
Sure, obviously, why won't I?
How do you think the issue of women's safety can be tackled?
Actually, we should educate women and men. That's what we can do. Suppose you are my sister means, you should teach your brother that women are also like men. They are equal. For sexual objects, you should not obsess a woman.
By educating society that our culture is like, it's not from heaven. See, the culture is from people, okay? We have to change our culture first of all.
I think it's the work of public services and everyone to ensure. And it's the work of, mainly when I think of women's safety, I think it's an issue of parenting, because when the parents raise their children right, I think no man or woman would think of doing a crime wrong.
Mostly it's in public's hands. Just 20% in our hands. We should take care of ourselves first, and then we should ask for help from publics.
I think at first women's safety is more centered. I know people talk about, giving talking to male people first, and then so that everyone in general knows. But I think women's safety is also a responsibility of a woman in herself.
Thank you so much, production team, for that wonderful video for being aired. So guys, അതായിരുന്നു നമ്മുടെ വോക്സ് പോപ്പ് വീഡിയോ. അപ്പൊ അതിനകത്ത് നമ്മൾ കുറേ കണ്ടു, like what everyone has to say. So I see some raised up hands over from the audience. So if you have any queries, put it on the chat box. We will get to you when it's time for the feedback and question answer session. Okay? Yes. So ഇന്നത്തെ നമ്മുടെ സെഷൻ ഏറ്റവും ഇൻഫോർമേറ്റീവ് ആക്കുവാൻ വേണ്ടി നമ്മോടൊപ്പം ഇന്ന് എത്തിച്ചേർന്നിരിക്കുന്നത് പ്രൊഫസർ സിൽവിയ ഡെയ്സി മാം ആണ്. സിൽവിയ മാം ഒരു സോഷ്യൽ വർക്ക് പ്രൊഫസർ ആണ്. മാഡം ഈ ഡൊമസ്റ്റിക് വയലൻസ് വിക്ടിംസിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ തുടങ്ങിയിട്ട് ഓൾമോസ്റ്റ് 10 years ആയി. Can you imagine 10 years? And Madras Christian College social works department ഒരു പ്രൊഫസർ ആണ് മാഡം. And talking about her, Dr. A. Silvia Daisy works as an associate professor at Madras Christian College in the Department of Social Work, Self-Finance stream. She has been teaching social work since 1999. She's the director in charge of Family Life Institute, a unit of Madras Christian College that caters to the health and economic needs of rural women and children, and also contributes to the development of rural community in Chengalpet district, Tamil Nadu. She is the nodal officer representing the Department of Social Work, and also she is the author of the book titled Marriage and Family. She has made several paper presentations at national and international conferences. Among those, 8 were on women entrepreneurship and poverty alleviation. She is the director of Commonwealth Organization for Social Work, London, from September 2020. Teaching is her passion. Collaboration and networking with people are her strengths. So we are very grateful to have you here today, ma'am. Let's hear to her words. I humbly call upon Dr. A. Silvia Daisy for the session. Welcome, ma'am.
Good morning, all. I'm really happy to be here addressing you all on cycle of violence, impact of COVID-19 pandemic on domestic violence. Can I have the PPT screen from your end?
Yes, ma'am, sure. Over to you, production team.
Thank you for that nice introduction. I appreciate the organizers for making me a part of this campaign. I'm really happy to be with you all. Yes. Next slide, please. International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. As we all know, this day is observed on 25th November every year. Now, why do we observe a specific day, whether it's Women's Day or whether it is Cancer Awareness Day? Why do we observe this? It is because we need to address this problem. We need to educate public, mobilize political will, and celebrate our achievement. So let us go to the first point, address this problem. So first of all, we need to believe that domestic violence is a problem. But India being a patriarchal society, we think that all these are common in a family. All these are common in a society. All right. So first of all, let us believe that it is a problem which needs to be addressed. Right. Now, let's go to the next slide. All right. Now, violence against women and girls is a problem because it is human rights violation. All of us are kings and queens, prince and princess of this democratic country, India. And why should only one particular section of this society suffer domestic violence? So it is a problem which needs to be addressed. Not only that, This domestic violence, it is an obstacle in achieving equality. It is an obstacle in achieving development. It is an obstacle in achieving peace. And moreover, there are many women and children who suffer this pain and they don't share about it because of the stigma that is attached, the shame, the impurity that is surrounding it. Hence, it is a problem that we need to address as educated people. Let us go to the next slide. Here you find little statistics about domestic violence, international statistics given by UN in 2016. Now, I want you to focus only on the second point. Listen, 30% of cases are intimate partner violence. Intimate partner violence in the sense it could be before marriage or after marriage, any phases of marriage and family life. When we say 30% is intimate partner violence, then the 70%, where is it happening? Now, who's involved in this? We find that the significant others like a mother-in-law figure or sister-in-law figure or a colleague, friends, uncle and aunt whom we know, is part of this. And they are the perpetrators. So, domestic violence, it is not a private issue. We need to definitely address this. Let us go to the next slide. Now, where is this happening? It is happening in home. Home is not a safe place for few in India. Okay, not for everyone, for a few. Maybe when we consider, the developed nations, it may be a different scenario over there. But in India, for few women and girls, it is not a safe place. Then we also find domestic violence happening in schools, workplace, and even in public places. Some of us would have experienced this kind of, violence while traveling by public transport. All right. Students, you need to understand today that domestic violence is never a private issue. It is a public issue. And whenever you get a chance, you need to address this in your own way. You need to support people who are suffering domestic violence. It is our responsibility. Next slide, please. Now, what are the different forms of domestic violence? So when we look at the different forms of domestic violence, we can categorize it this way. Physical violence. In most of the cases that we have handled in the past 10 years, we have heard from women who suffer domestic violence like punching on the face, hitting them against the wall, arm twisting. These are the common things that happen. All right, so physical violence is one form of, violence that we see. All right. Then psychological. When we say psychological, instilling fear by collecting information about the weaknesses of the client. Say, for example, the weakness sometimes could be the child or the property saved, the money saved, or the bank account or the job. Okay. So the perpetrator would always want to find out what is the weakness of the client, what is the weakness of the partner or the victim. And they want to find out, they want to instill this pain in them. Okay, so psychological. Not only that, we also find, emotional violence like belittling, naming, name calling, all such things happening. Okay, so psychologically, putting the client at a low level or low self-esteem. Then we also find sexual form of violence. What is the sexual form of violence? Especially when we were dealing with the married couples, having sex with another person. Okay, extramarital affair. Bringing the girl home, especially during pandemic, we heard this, bringing the girl home or going along with that person in front of the partner. All such things have happened. Okay, and sexual, this is considered a sexual form of violence. Okay, and here I would like to give an example where in the first phase of pandemic, we got a call all of a sudden by 10 o'clock as social workers. We work as a group of social workers. We have police personnel, government people, me as a professor, and the NGO people. So we are as a group. We work collectively, rescuing women under violence. So late in the night when we were about to sleep, we got a call and it was told that a girl was gang raped by 7 men. Okay. And she was in need of shelter. And since it was first phase of pandemic, you know how strict the government was. Okay, so we tried contacting several organizations, and every organization closed the door for this particular girl because she might be infected by COVID. So that was their response, and they said, we cannot admit her. So the girl, I think you will be able to understand the pain of that girl. She trusted the boyfriend. She came along with him. Okay. And he introduced this girl to his friends, all of them together, gang raped her in a public place, just behind a bus stop of a suburban area. And who went for rescue? It was the public which reported, the police personnel. They called us. They said this girl needs counseling and little shelter, and the basic needs have to be addressed. Okay, so we found quite a few cases like this where young women have left their families and come out with their, a boyfriend or somebody whom they had known, okay, and suffered like this in the pandemic. With great difficulty, we had to help them because we had to be little cautious about this infection that is going on, isn't it? COVID-19. Right. So this is sexual violence that we found during pandemic. Then we also find in India like honor killings because of love marriages and dowry death and dowry harassment. All right. Now we'll go to the next slide. Okay. Domestic violence on whom? Now who becomes the victim? The weaker and the vulnerable sections of society usually become the victim of domestic violence. The children, women, elderly people. When I say elderly people, we got calls where elderly women, they were left in the bus stop. They were left in the railway station. You won't feel, when you look at them, when you meet them, you would very well understand that they are from a lower middle class family. They're not people who would stay on the railway station or in the bus stand, who usually are there, present there. They are the ones who are left by their own family member, without food, with 2-3 sets of dress, they would be found there. So we got calls like this. We had to rescue them. We had to take them to their own places. So we had to unite them with their own family members, but family never wanted them. So there was, quite a few cases where elderly people were abused. Elderly people were left without, the basic needs met. So that was so pathetic. And after looking at this, India at a major level, at a macro level, I would say, we are coming out with a policy for elderly women, where we are going to provide economic benefits for the family, which is going to take care of the elderly women. So there are many plans like that. And soon we will come at this national policy for elderly men and women. All right, then who are the victims? Let us go further. Lower caste people are the victims because they are vulnerable, because they don't have power. They don't have control on resources. Okay, so they are the victims. Then you also find the poor people, without money. They are being exploited. In one particular case, which we rescued, we found a girl who got connected with the Ola cab driver. So he brought this girl to city and he made her, stay in one place. He just left her. This girl does not have any idea about this person except for trusting that this boy would come and, live with her. So in this condition, she was staying somewhere near a supermarket. A young woman staying near a supermarket, believing that the person who left her there will come back, pick her up, and take her to a nice place where she can live happily with him. So, poor girls being exploited like this, in pandemic. Then we also find minorities like Christians, Muslims, the language-based minorities like Anglo-Indians, they being exploited, abused. Right, all right. Then you also find transgenders. The condition of transgenders was pathetic in pandemic because, especially in the first phase, because they couldn't go out for begging. As you all know, they are into very few occupations. They are into commercial sex work. They are into begging. Okay, few are entrepreneurs. So they lost, many of them lost their jobs, all right, during this pandemic, and transgenders had to undergo domestic violence. So we found this in pandemic first phase. All right, we'll go to the next slide. Now, why violence? Why this domestic violence is happening? It is because of the stereotypes. See, In society, we think that girls means they have to get married and go. That's all, get settled. What is her job? Get married, get settled, manage home, bear children, and take care of the children. So this kind of a stereotype is harmful for the girls. And since we are giving this picture year after year, women elope with young men. This is what we saw. And they believe they are dependent on the men. They are thinking that, okay, he's a prince. He will come and safeguard me. He will come and rescue me. He will come and provide me. Okay, he will give me a good life. All right. So this stereotype of women depending on men and women to be subjugated to all sorts of violence, and women need to accept this violence, all these need to be addressed. In my experience, I would strongly say these stereotypes we need to definitely do away with stereotypes. All right. Then let us go to the familial causes. Family-based factors, what are they? India is actually a patriarchal society where men are given due importance. A man drinks, even if he drinks, he is important. He does not bring money, he is important. Okay, so giving this kind of significant position to men, okay, and allowing them to harass women, okay, when the family is encouraging this, I think as educated women and young men and women, we need to definitely question this patriarchal system and bring about equality. All right. Now let us go to the individual factors. Now, in quite a few cases, we found that the perpetrator, the offender, okay, being a psychopath, meaning he will find some weakness or strength of the victim, and he will start, bringing pain. Like blackmailing if the victim is fond of a child, blackmailing. Okay, so all that. So perpetrator being a psychopath. All right. Then on the other side, if you look at the victims encourage violence. Say, for example, if a young woman is in relationship or during the first phase of marriage, we entertain this actually as women. Okay, in Tamil we say, adikira kaidan anaikum. Okay, so if the person is slapping, hitting, then after a few minutes or after a few hours, it is going to be hugging, kissing, and romance. So this kind of expectation, which is again and again emphasized by the media, okay, this becomes a reason, and women encourage violence when they are in relationship in their young age. They encourage violence when they are in the first phase of their marital life. The first 2 years are very important, right? So we should say no when there is violence in the first phase of marital life, and especially when you are into relationship, and if the person is exercising this kind of violence, I would say you should discontinue that relationship. You should keep a full stop to that relationship and you should escape. You are precious. You are precious. You have only one life to live with quality. Okay, right. We'll go to the next slide. Right. Now here you see the cycle of violence. Now what is the cycle of violence all about? In anyone's life, this violence, undergoes different stages. Okay, and it reoccurs, especially in the life of the victims, it reoccurs. What is the first stage? It is a tension building phase. What is tension building phase? Maybe there is some kind of verbal abuse between the two people, the victim and the offender. Okay, say for example, we'll take a family, husband and wife. They are scolding each other. So he says something, she says something. So this is called a tension building phase. Now we'll move to the next one. That is the second phase where, the previous slide, second phase. In the second phase, you find that there is an incident happening or there is an outburst, meaning one person will give a slap on the other's face, or he or she will break the item that is there at home, maybe a television set or a computer or a mobile phone that is broken. So that is the second phase. Now, what is the third phase? Reconciliation, where they will ask pardon. Sorry, I did like this. Okay, so there is reconciliation between the victim and the offender. And in the fourth stage, there is calmness. After that, again, the cycle would occur. So what we need to do here is, whenever you interact with a person, whether it is a colleague, whether it's a family member, sibling, or a partner, you need to kindly watch the cycle of abuse. And you need to cut that in the tension building phase itself. அங்கேயே நிறுத்தணும். If you allow that, then there is going to be major loss. Okay, maybe in terms of money, or your health is lost, your psychological health is lost, or you lose your peace, you lose your productivity. So definitely we need to stop that in the tension building phase itself. I have seen many empowered women, being so strong and opposing things in the tension building phase itself. All right, very good. We'll go to the next slide. Okay, now how do we break this chain? So in family, what are they supposed to do? They need to believe the children when the children complain about this domestic violence. In general, we don't believe this. Parents haven't believed. See, in one particular case, a stepfather was disturbing a child. Okay, in this corona second phase, we were able to deal with this case. Okay, so the stepfather was disturbing the child. This child was born for the first husband. Okay, 15-year-old child. The child who had expressed this every time to the mother never listened because she had that kind of an attachment with the second husband. All right, so when children say something, we need to believe. We need to show that there is some kind of support from the family. Okay, when we had rescued this child, now we had separated the couple, because this relationship of theirs is very harmful for the two kids which are there in the family. Okay, the girl has got a brother actually. The 15-year-old child has got a brother who is 5 years. Okay, so we have rescued them. All right, so family has to believe. This is the lesson that we get as a societal member today. All right, we'll go to the next slide. Okay, how do we break the chain? Now, what is the responsibility of the individual? Now, being strong is very important. You need to be very strong. தமிழ் அழகா சொல்லுவாங்க அந்த வடிவேல் காமெடியில எவ்வளவு அடி அடிச்சாலும் தாங்குறான் அப்படின்வாங்க. Okay, so you need to be very, very strong. All right. So how? Physically, we need to be strong. Psychologically, we need to be strong. Okay. We should never show our weakness to others. Basically, to others. You show that you are a strong woman. Okay, physically, psychologically. That itself will become a threat to the perpetrator. All right. So this is how individuals can break the chain in the beginning phase itself. Right. We'll move to the next one. Okay. Now, what are the services available? See, domestic violence, we cannot do away with this problem all alone. Okay. So we need to network. We need to network with central government. We have one-stop centers in all districts. Okay. They are reachable by the helpline numbers. If you contact the helpline numbers, somehow we will have a kind of networking. All right. So one-stop centers you can approach. The family counseling centers run by each state government. In every district, you can approach them. You can contact the NGOs which are there in the district. Okay. And you can tap the special programs relating to education, empowerment, counseling, everything. Right. Then institutions like this, MCC. I'm happy that MCC Mass Comm department has taken up this kind of an initiative. So finding out as educated people, the relevant services available in the district and networking is very, very important. We'll go to the next one. All right. Now, as a society, let us say no to the stereotypes. That is how we can safeguard the future generation from this kind of, domestic violence. Next slide, please. Okay, so together we can end violence against women. So let us stay together, network, help out each other. The helplines are working wonderfully. I would advise the participants, please try today. Just contact and find out what kind of service is available. Okay, just try, just connect with it. All right. Thank you very much. It was awesome making this presentation amongst you all. Be safe, and keep rocking. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I will thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking time from your busy schedule. We know you are having a busy schedule and coming to us as a keynote speaker at our campaign. We are very appreciating that, and your presence and wise word helped magnify our cause in the best possible way. And all those real life experiences you shared were at the same time horrifying and also an eye opener to us because we were unaware of it. This is happening in our society and we cannot get in direct connection with these people that we were unaware of many of these things. But as you were in direct connection and you could share that experience with us, it was really great to hear from you. And all thanks to your enlightening words that inspired so many people out here. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Yes. So, guys, as ma'am has said, I wanted you to repeat the helpline numbers. What is the helpline numbers? The national helpline number for women? Someone? Guys. എല്ലാരും ഉറങ്ങിപ്പോയോ guys?
1091.
Yes, 1091. What about the child helpline numbers?
1098.
Yes, 1098. And what about the Tamil Nadu helpline number?
181.
181. Yes, these should be the key takeaways when you leave our campaign. So, meanwhile, you can check in the chat box. There are answers put up for the polls that you have voted. So, get a look onto it. And now, I would like to call upon the most energetic backbone of our campaign. She is just one of the most lovely, energetic people we have ever met. She just always seems to be in a good mood. And I think having such a positive attitude rubs on to all of us that we could conduct this campaign very well. So before we went, I would like to welcome our most lovely staff in charge, Miss Deborah Rush, for giving a vote of thanks. Welcome, ma'am.
Hi guys, thank you all so much for being a wonderful audience. I think Amrita, Vidyapeetham did a wonderful job. You guys asked a lot of questions. Thank you so much. I could see the interest that you guys had. Thank you, Ashwati Das. At the last moment when I asked her for the permission, she immediately said, okay, she just took a day to, confirm it. And then she immediately said, okay, I thank the management of Amrita Vidyapeetham. Ashwati Das, I must say she was the topper in my class. We did our MA together at Madras Christian College. And, we still have contact together. And thank you so much, Ashwati. The pleasure was all mine to do our campaign at your place today. The audience were wonderful. I thank the keynote speaker for today, Dr. Silvia Daisy, ma'am, from our own college, Madras Christian College. Last but not the least, I thank my dear students, MA Communication, without whom this campaign is not possible at all. They are doing wonders. Every day there are improvisations. Every day there is something new in what they have to show to the world. So thank you so much for the spontaneity that you guys have. And also, thank you for the wonderful peer group that I have, my colleagues, the head of the department in charge, Vasu, Janet ma'am, Dr. Janet, and Dinesh Kumar T, without whose support this is not possible at all. I thank the management of Madras Christian College and the management of Amrita Vidyapeetham for continuously encouraging us to do our best. Thank you all so much for being here. I would now leave it back to Elsa. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now it's time for the vote of thanks from our students' side. I request Miss Bhadra Ranjit for vote of thanks. Welcome, Bhadra.
Thank you, Elsa. There is no gate, no lock, no bolt that you can set upon the freedom of my mind. Virginia Woolf. Even as we pull our campaign to a close, we hope that we have initiated each and every one of you to step up, speak up, and learn more about our cause and our vision for a society safe for all individuals. It is an honor to present the vote of thanks at the close of today's campaign session. I would like to start off by giving thanks to the Lord Almighty for another successful session of our campaign. I extend my hearty gratitude to Dr. P.V. Ramanathan, Chairperson, Dr. Beena S. Nair, Vice Chairperson, and Professor Ashwati Das, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Amrita Vidyapeetham, for supporting our cause and allowing us to spread knowledge and awareness through 2ACT005. Many thanks to the students and faculty of the Department of English, Amrita Vidyapeetham, for their participation and enthusiasm throughout the session. Thank you for supporting our cause and allowing us to spread knowledge and awareness through 2ACT005. Many thanks to Dr. Vasuprada Srikrishna, head of the department in charge, Department of Communication, Madras Christian College, for her constant support and coordination throughout the campaign. I would like to thank Ms. Deborah Raj, staff in charge for Public Relations campaign, for her valuable support, time, and encouragement as our anchor and our guide for helping us to execute our campaign in a splendid manner. It would be remiss without thanking the faculty of the Department of Communication, Dr. S. Janet Mary and Professor Dinesh Kumar T, for their enthusiasm, their ideas, suggestions, and their involvement from planning to execution. Special thanks to our keynote speaker, Dr. A. Silvia Daisy, social worker and professor at the Department of Social Work, Madras Christian College, for joining us in our cause and sharing their insightful inputs on the cycle of abuse with our audience today. Thank you to our audience at YouTube Live for joining us as well for our event. Our sincerest gratitude goes out to First MA Communication, our lovely juniors, for their constant support and involvement. This campaign wouldn't have been what it is without your help, support, and dedication. And kudos to Second MA Communication on executing another successful campaign day today. We hope that all our hard work and effort is paid off today. We hope you've all had a great day. Thank you once again for making our campaign a massive success. Thank you. Over to you, Elsa.
Thank you so much, Bhadra. People, please stay back for a screenshot. As we know, we can't take a group photo being in an online platform. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Ashwati Das here, faculty in charge of Assistant Professor, Department of English. So
yes,
I would like to invite a student from our second year student Anand to propose a word of thanks. So we need to thank from our side also.
Thank you so much, Ashwati. Thank you so much. Definitely, we would like a feedback from your side. Thank you.
Welcome, Anand.
Hello everyone. First of all, I thought all these vote of thanks every people are saying, and I am not being called or invited. What is this? Okay. So I thank the students of MCC first for this wonderful work. This was a very energetic, entertaining performance. Sorry, not performance. Very good meeting, and this I spent a great time with you all. And our students, our boys are very energetic. Girls also. Okay, so and then I thank Miss Silvia Daisy, who took a very valuable time to explain this about the cycle of domestic violence. How can we prevent this? Okay, I sincerely thank Ramanathan sir, Ina ma'am, and so this was a great presentation, a great eye-opening session on ideas of domestic violence against women. So I would like to suggest that I know you are these people are MCC people are very successful going wherever they are through this presentation. So I would like to suggest that they have talked a lot about female domestic violence. So if there is any kind of male supportive topic also, you can add sessions if possible. So, okay, thank you for the wonderful presentation, and the audience who were here.
Thank you so much, Anand, for that valuable words. Yes, we will take that as a feedback and we'll try to improvise next time. Okay, so meanwhile, there is also a feedback link that is being circulated on the chat box. You can take a look and also click the link and give us a feedback through there. And finally, we will also have an air of infographic video that explains the good and bad relationships. Let's have a look into the infographic video. Over to you, production team.
Let's have a quick educational session. What is a healthy relationship? Does it equate to being physically healthy? Does it mean cooking healthy meals? No. A healthy relationship is made up of trust, loyalty, understanding, honesty, and respect. And what is consent? When someone says no, it means that they are not consenting to whatever is happening. And what are some of the other ways that one can say no? They can say maybe, they can say I don't know, they can say I'm not sure, or they might not have a response. But all of these mean no. And moving on to respect. We have often heard that when we respect others, they will respect us back. Respect is shown in the way we treat others and in our actions towards them. Respect also builds the basis of a good and healthy relationship. And that is our snippet of understanding for the day.
Thank you, production team. That was the infographic video. Also, one more thing, guys, before we end, there is also the Instagram link of our account the social media handle being given.
Screenshot session, is it done?
Jessica, is that done?
Yes, it's yet to be done. Could you all please switch on your
People
video?
from Amrita, can you switch on your video so that we can do the screenshot session?
Come on, please switch on your videos.
Guys, please.
Come on, guys. Amrita, Vishwa. All right. So on 3, let's all say cheese. All right. 1, 2, say cheese. All right. Thank you so much. Ma'am, it's done.
Ma'am,
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you.
Yes,
Hello.
sure, Anand.
Ma'am, I just, sorry to interrupt, but I just forgot to add 2 sentences in the feedback session. So, through this love and harmony and mutual respect, let's make this world a heaven, which is said to be a Disneyland, but it's possible, and get the hell out of here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anand. Thank you so much. Thank you for being supportive for our campaign, and we would definitely try and incorporate your feedback. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, guys, before we leave, there is the Instagram link of our social media handle. Just see, there is a Reels challenge going on. Put a finger down challenge. It hardly takes 5 seconds of your life. Just come, remix the challenge, and have fun.
Okay, ma'am, I just like to add one more thing. Because when I asked the question in rights for men, some people got offended because they only have this feminist views. So I'm sorry for that, but this is a real thing. And people don't get offended. I'm also aware about the rights of women. I'm not a misogynist or people like that. And when I asked this question, you were so kind to address this other than people who put it under the carpet. So thank you for that also.
We took it in the right way only, Anand. Don't worry. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Amrita, Vishwapeetham. You can all leave now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, people. You are a great audience. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, ma'am.